Hello everyone, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. Y'all are in luck today because today is a shirtless video, so enjoy that. We have a pretty good pack to start. Liliana of the Veil and Thoughtseize are two of the best black cards to lead on in the format. A little unfortunate that they're both in the same pack. I think because of that I'm not going to take one. There's some good gold cards in Fallen Shinobi and Leovold. Primeval Titan is definitely first pickable, and then there's Tolarian Academy, which has the highest upside. And I actually think I'm going to take the Academy. I haven't drafted a blue artifact deck yet, and when it's open, it's very, very good. This is probably the best card in it. Yeah, we'll go with this. This card just creates so much mana a lot of the time. Ooh. Okay. Optimal pick might be something like Strip Mine, but I kind of want to take Urza's Saga. Yeah, let's take Urza's Saga. These are two very, very good lands if we get a bunch of artifacts. So now the priority is getting those artifacts. Now we can take a Mana Leak, which is a great pickup. This is very, very good interaction. There's also Hallowed Fountain, but I think Mana Leak is a little bit better here. Sort of fun to have. Actually, this pack has 4 mana lands. That's a lot, but yeah, let's take the Leak. Now we could take Rakdos Signet, Daze, Gilded Lotus, and Factor Fiction are all reasonable. I think I'm going to take the Factor Fiction here. Yeah, let's go with that. This is just such good card draw. Ooh, that is a late Tinker. First I saw the Pluto Delta and I got pretty excited about that, and then even Torrential Gearhulk would be solid, but it's a great sign to be getting a Tinker this late. We don't have any artifacts right now, but between Tolarian Academy, Urza Saga, and Tinker, we're very well set up, and artifacts will be very high picks now. A blue Signet would be one of the best things we could get. Yeah, I mean, this is looking like a great start. If we can manage to get a Soul Ring or a Mana Crypt or something like that, this deck would be perfect for that. Cantrips would also be nice here. There's Underground Sea, but I think we just want to take the Mystical Tutor here. This can find Tinker. Yeah, we'll do that. It's sort of funny to be building around Tinker when we don't have any Tinker targets or Tinker enablers, but I think it's still worth it here. Worth noting, there is a Wrenn 6 and there was a Strip Mine going around earlier, so that would have been another pretty sweet direction we could go. Really do want to get some artifacts, though. I stand by the pick of Factor Fiction over Rakdos Signet, but if we saw a second copy of Factor Fiction and a second copy of Rakdos Signet, we would take the Signet this time. There's a world where Urza Saga is playable, even if we don't have a cheap artifact to search for, but obviously we would very much like to get one. Soul Ring being the best, but there's many that would be good. Mono Blue Artifacts is one of my favorite decks. It's very, very powerful when it's open. Here we could take Oblivion Stone. There's some good white cards, but I don't necessarily want to dip into that if we can avoid it. And O-Stone is solid. It's even a reasonable Tinker target sometimes. I mean, sometimes you just need to blow up the world. And Oblivion Stone is good for that. Couple artifacts that are sort of bad for us here. We could just take Seachrome Coast. I don't really want to play Tanglewire or Scrapheap Scrounger. Yeah, I'm going to take the Seachrome Coast here. There's a world where we regret that and just want, like, literally any card with a text artifact, but we're not there yet. We would need a lot more payoffs. Like, if we got Emry and Urza and, like, Kuldotha the Forge Master and then, like, multiple Tinker targets, then we would want to do that, but that is not the case yet. I don't think we're going to go that deep. And white does look pretty open. We've been seeing a lot of white cards going on late, so we might be able to snag a Fractured Identity or a Teferi or something like that, and in that case, we would love to have the Seachrome Coast for the splash. Palancron can go infinite with Tolarian Academy, but I think we just take the Riftwind Cloudsgate. This is just like a better card than Palancron. Yeah, we'll do that. Ooh, late Control Magic. Pretty happy to see that. There's the late white cards we're talking about. If we already had Batterskull, maybe Stoneforge could be consideration, but we'll take the Control Magic. Now I'll take Expansion Explosion. Very, very good with Factor Fiction. If you have 6 mana, you can play Factor Fiction and copy it. Alright, we'll take a Memory Jar. Memory Jar is not bad here. Now we can take... Gideon Blackblade will be hard to cast, but Tithe Taker could be good just at blocking in some matchups. Okay, Soulfire in case we get the Time Walk combo and Desperate Ritual. All right. So blue is pretty open. We don't have that many artifacts, so that'll be a really high priority in this pack because with the Academy and the Tinker, there's a really, really strong pull in that direction. Obviously, any deck would like to pick up a Mox, but this would be one of the best Mox in deck ever. So let's open one of those. Nice. That is beautiful. There's also Probe and Kuldotha Forge Master. Snapcaster is reasonable as well, but definitely taking a Mox here. This is absolutely perfect. I mean, this isn't the best Mox, but beggars can't be choosers. Ooh, Mana Drain. There's a lot of good options here. Bolas's Citadel is a good Tinker target. Ancient Tomb is very good if we get Mox in. Lotus Petal can be good, but Mana Drain is just broken. And it's great because it's cheap interaction that also plays well with big colorless things, which we're already trying to play. So, you know, Mana Drain into like Memory Jar, I guess isn't the best combo, but it's not bad. And then Memory Drain into Mana Drain into other things is very, very strong. All right, we'll take a Phyrexian Metamorph here. That's not bad. It's better if we get more artifact mana like War and Power Stone, but even just playing this to copy a Mox isn't terrible in some decks. Ooh. Teferi, Spell Pierce, and Wormcoil all in the same pack. I actually think we might need to take Wormcoil here. We're going to struggle a lot against aggressive decks, and being able to put Wormcoil into play quickly is a good out against that. Yeah, I think this card is significantly worse than both Teferi and Spell Pierce, but I think in this specific situation we actually want it more. High Tide is interesting. Ooh, Walking Ballista and Everflowing Chalice. Wow, that is close. I think these are both better than Ancestral and High Tide here for us. Walking Ballista is great as a payoff. Everflowing Chalice is great as mana ramp. I think I'm going to take the Ballista here. Yeah, let's do that. Walking Ballista is very, very strong in these sorts of decks. And it's good in our hardest matchups too, like Wormcoil. I really like building these sorts of decks to beat aggressive decks because you're generally going to have a naturally good matchup against control decks since you're playing more card advantage and more counter magic than most decks as a mono blue deck. And you also are going to likely have a mana advantage. Okay, this pack is sort of a brick. Gush is okay. There's Windswept Heath. I think we just take Path. Yeah, we'll take Path. It may or may not end up being playable depending on how our mana base looks, but it is a really, really good card that's worth splashing for in a lot of matchups. Okay, pretty easy. Sensei's Divining Top here. That's great. We don't have particular combos with it, but we just want cards that are artifacts. Ooh, this is a tough one. Thran Dynamo versus Tezzeret the Seeker. Tezzeret can make mana. He can find Oblivion Stone. Yeah, I think I like Tezzeret here. Thran Dynamo is good, but we don't have, like, really, really expensive stuff. We're not ramping into, like, Ugin right now. So we'll take the Tez. I still would like more artifacts, though. Memory Jar and Wormcoil is, like, Tinker is playable if those are your top end to get, but it's better if we get one more good piece, like a Sundering Titan or the Bolas's Citadel on the wheel. All right, we got Kuldotha Forge Master. That's not bad. Nice, Bolas's Citadel. Okay, so that is a card that we can only play off of Tinker right now. I would love Brainstorm to shuffle it back into the deck. Lion's Eye Diamond is a way to cast it. Although, you need a very specific circumstance. You need to like play Brainstorm and then sack this in response. But I do think we take it. Birthing Pod doesn't do much for us. Yeah, let's just take the LED. This pack had some cards that we wanted to wheel, I think. I guess I'll take Solitude. Land Tax, decent sideboard card if we end up with white. So, yeah, this deck is sort of coming together. I still would like a few more cheap artifacts. We don't have great ways to enable Tinker yet. And, yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. We would like another Mox, some Signets, certainly Sol Ring. Relic of Progenitus, even something like that. We don't need it to be broken. Not asking for too much, just some cheap artifacts. We're not doing anything unfair over here. Don't worry about it. All right, some Jund cards going late. And a Seasoned Hellblade last pick. All right. On to the third pack. This first one is huge. If we could get a piece of cheap artifact mana, that would go a long way. We cannot. There are some good options, though. There's a Tundra if we want to splash white, but the Teferi didn't come around. There's Jace, which is just good for smoothing your draw. Thirst for Knowledge is great in this sort of deck. Shark Typhoon is solid. I kind of like taking Thirst here. Yeah, let's take the Thirst. This is very, very good card draw in this sort of deck. Ooh, Fractured Identity. Okay, we can't pass that. There's Stonecoil Serpent, Brainstorm, Basalt Monolith, but Fractured Identity is just broken. And now we can take, I think, Orzhov Signet. Spellseeker and Cryptic are both good as well, but we need a critical mass of cheap artifacts, and this helps with the white mana. So now in terms of white mana, we have not much, but we have Signet, Seagram Coast, and then we can play a couple basic planes. We're probably cutting Expansion Explosion, but all the rest of these cards honestly look quite strong. Tezzeret can also find white mana. It can pick up the Signet, so that's pretty nice. Still wouldn't mind one more piece of top-end artifact stuff, like Blightsteel Colossus, Sundering Titan, something along those lines. We don't get it here, though. There's Dig Through Time versus... I don't think we need Lodestone, but actually, Lotus Bloom is interesting. It's good with Urza Saga, because Urza Saga just puts this directly into play, and this can also cast Bolas the Citadel or Fix for white. Yeah, I think we just take the Lotus Bloom here. Ooh, that's a late Jace the Mind Sculptor. Also Teferi, but I think Jace is better in this deck. And it's also easier to cast. Let's take the Jace. That's a really nice late pickup. Okay. Another Signet that adds white. Cannot complain with that. I wouldn't mind a port. I don't think these lands really help us much. Sneak Attack, that's a late Sneak Attack, but yeah, we'll take the Signet here. Urza would be another card that would be very, very good to get late. It would make a big construct, and it would be a great mana sink. Golos would also be fine to find either Tolarian Academy or Urza Saga. Time Spiral. I don't think Time Spiral is great for us. I kind of want to take Ulamog, actually. Wrath of God's going to be hard to cast. Yeah, I'm going to take Ulamog. Oh, nice. A really late Mana Vault. I would love a Vendilion Click too, but Mana Vault's great. Okay, that makes the Ulamog better too. This deck does need, I think, one more piece of top end, and we can potentially ramp into it. I guess it's sort of hard. Maybe it's actually pretty hard to ramp into. We can take a Batterskull though now. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll bring the Ulamog in the really controlling matchups, but I think Batterskull will be better in the main deck. We're probably not a Cold Alta Forge Master deck now. So we could just run this and 16 basics, or 16 lands. I don't think we want Smokestack, but none of the other cards are playable. We could take Deceiver Exarch as a sideboard card against like Sneak Attack decks, but I think I would just rather have Smokestack, which we can bring in some matchups when we're on the play. Ooh, Academy Ruins. That's pretty good. Just as a nice value land in a deck that has relatively modest colored requirements. Take a Parallax Wave, I guess. Alright, not playing any of these late pickups, but that's fine. This deck is good. It's one or two cards away from being great, but it's still quite strong. We can get pretty quick Tinker somewhat consistently. Between Mystical Tutor and the Tinker, we have enough cheap artifacts now. I think we'll be able to get a turn 3 Wormcoil or turn 3 Bolas' Citadel. Not too uncommonly. We are missing the cheap Or we're missing cheap cantrips. Ponder, Preordain, stuff like that. That would be very good in this deck. We saw Fractured Identity and both Teferis in this draft, so we also could have just done a normal blue-white control deck, and that would have been quite strong. But I think this deck will be very strong as well. So how many white sources do we need for this one Fractured Identity? We have 2 Signets and a Seachrome Coast, Lotus Bloom, Tezzeret. I honestly think 1 is fine. How many blue sources do we have? If we did this, that would be... Oh, wait, we could do... Oh, yeah, we could do this. 11, 12 sources. That seems fine. I don't want to go lower than that because I really do want to be able to have mana drain early. But, yeah, this seems like a pretty good way to do it. This deck has a couple broken cards in Fractured Identity and Jace. It also has a Mox, some really good lands, some okay win conditions. Bolas' Citadel will be strong. We have 4 creatures and 20 spells, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, can't complain. We'll run it like this. And we have a reasonable sideboard, too. We can bring in a lot of white cards in some matchups. In terms of card draw, we have Thirst for Knowledge and Fact or Fiction, Jace, Memory Jar. Tezzeret is sort of like card draw, as is Mystical Tutor, as is Sensei's Divining Top, so I think we'll have enough. It would be better if we had those cantrips, but this deck seems like it should be alright on that front. And then we're a little bit light on just cards that completely win the game, but not too light. I guess we have enough. Batterskull, Wormcoil, Walking Ballista, those are all good win conditions, and we can recur them with Academy Ruins. And then against really slow decks, we can bring in Cold Out the Forge Master and potentially Smokestack. Against aggro decks, we can bring in Mana Tithe, Path, Soulfire Grandmaster, Tithe Taker, and Solitude. And just add a bunch more planes and reconfigure the mana base. And when we're on the draw, we can just bring in land tax. Although, that might not be great. That's better if you have turn 1 white mana very consistently. This card is not good if you're playing it later in the game. I will pop my face up to there. We don't really have any good combos with Sensei's Divining Top. We have exactly 0 shuffle effects. Well, I guess Urza's... No, we have some. Urza Saga, Tinker, Mystical Tutor. We don't have fetch lands, which are what I think of as the normal shuffle effects. But it's totally fine, just as a card to sacrifice to Tinker, or as a card to make Tolarian Academy better. And this is a very good Urza Saga deck. We have a lot of artifacts, so the construct should be pretty big. And we have a lot of good ones. We can get, if we really need 1 burst of mana, we can take Lotus Bloom or potentially Mana Vault. If we need consistent mana, we can take a Mox Emerald. And if we need card draw, we can take Sensei's Top. Seems pretty good. All right, at long last, we have an opponent. On the draw, though, that is unfortunate. Cheddar Goblin 1984 will be on the play. This hand is amazing, though. We have turn 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor. Turn 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor into, Batterskull a little bit after that. This is just great. Don't mind drawing an island. We'll play the Mana Vault, pass turn. We can actually play Signet into Jace. That doesn't play around Daze, but I don't... Oh, they have an Abrade. That sucks. I mean, we still have a turn 3 Jace, so it's not terrible, but that is not what I was hoping for, of course. We'll play the Signet, pass turn. Based on these delays, I kind of think they have a Daze. Oh, well, that helps. So we'll play Mox Emerald, Urza Saga, Jace the Mind Sculptor. And now do we Brainstorm, which would be bad against a burn spell? I think I'm actually just going to Fate Seal myself here. And then start Brainstorming next turn. Sensei's Divining top. We're going to want to... I guess we'll keep this on top. Yeah, that'll make our constructs bigger, and we still have good targets to search up with the Urza Saga. No play in a turn is good for us. They could have just played like Pestermite, Untapped, Splinter Twin. So now we're looking for Mana Drain, ideally. Dak Faden can steal something. That's a little annoying. They steal the Mox. I should have tapped it in response, but it doesn't really matter. All right, let's Brainstorm. Fractured Identity. That's a good one. We're not playing it this turn. We want to get the Lotus Bloom, so let's go Lotus Bloom, Island. Yeah, then we'll play Island. Play Sensei's Divining top and pass turn. And then the Urza Saga can pick up probably the Lotus. So they loot. We can make a token that will be a lethal attacker on the deck. They're likely to have some sort of way to interact with it. But we also have a stacked hand. And in turn, we can make a construct and then look at the top three. We know the top two, which we don't really care about, but there's a chance that the third card will be really good, in which case we can draw it. I think this actually triggers when we get to our main phase too, so we will draw one card from the top of our deck. So we can decide which one of the top three we want. Just discarding 2 islands, okay. They could play like Thundermaw Hellkite and kill our Jace. That would be bad, but then we could kill their deck. Thieving Skydiver to steal Orzhov Signet. Okay, that's annoying. We'll make a construct. Yeah, that does really limit our mana, honestly, but they are going to have to chump block that if they want to. Wait, they have actually a ridiculous amount of ways to deal with artifacts. A Braid, Thieving Skydiver, and Dak. That's actually really bad. I think we're still in a good shape for this game, but that's bad for later games. Okay, I think I'll take Academy Ruins here. We don't need another island. Oh no! Oh, what am I doing? Wait, what? Okay, I really messed this up in multiple ways. Well, first of all, we can't get Lotus Bloom. I really thought we could get Lotus Bloom. I'm pretty sure you can, actually. But we really needed to make a construct there in response. And I just accidentally didn't. Alright, not great. Let's Brainstorm. There's a Tinker. Okay, so I guess we just go for the Tinker. We'll put back land, Batterskull. Actually, wait, we want that land. Yeah, put back land. Batterskull. Play Tinker. Do we want... Actually, yeah, we'll play Tinker. Now, they can Dak Faden to steal something, so I think we actually are going to need to just bounce. Oh, no, we already used the J. So we're going to need to hope to get a little bit lucky here off of the Bolas' Citadel. So we'll cast this off the top. Nice! Lotus Bloom. That is really, really good. Cast that. Play land, which we haven't done yet. There's a Mana Leak on top. So let's attack the Dak. They jump block. And now they're going to steal the Bolas the Citadel with a DAC, but then we can Fractured Identity to take it back. I'm pretty sure Magic Online is bugged. Urza Saga should be able to get the Lotus Bloom. I'm like 99% sure that that's how that works. It is good to know that that's how it's going to be now. So our only targets are Mox. I mean, it's still good. We have Mox, Emerald, Mana Vault, and Sensei's Top, so we still have 3. But it should be able to get Lotus Bloom as well. They have no idea that we have white mana, so they won't expect the Fractured Identity at all. The problem is they will still have all their mana available. So they get that. We can't play the Mana Leak off the top anymore. Jace and Bolas the Citadel is very strong as a combo, so hopefully it does work when we attempt to get it back. They play Riftwing Cloudskate off the top. Are they going to bounce the Construct or the Lotus Bloom? Whoa, that was not what I was expecting. Okay. That is annoying. This is just going to come down to if they have a counterspell or not. If they have a counterspell, I think we win. If not, we lose. Whoa. They're playing Gush for 5 life. They're down to 9. They have so many cards in hand, though. There's no way they don't have a counterspell. It is absolutely brutal how many ways they have to interact with artifacts. Their deck is well set up to beat ours for sure. Lotus or Mox. Wow, yeah, their deck is sweet. This is the worst matchup for us, probably. We're going to have 7 mana on our next turn. Okay, jeez. If they bounce the Lotus Bloom, we're pretty dead. Okay, they bounce Jace, so we're still alive. This is a pretty disgusting turn, though. I don't think we can really beat this. Do we have any good sideboard options? Expansion Explosion is okay against them, but not great. What? They're playing Turnabout? Is this a... No, that's a very strange card for them to be playing. I don't think they're storming. But I've never seen Turnabout. I guess if they're playing Turnabout and Gush, like maybe they are storm. They're like playing Storm, but also a bunch of random value cards. Oh, geez. I guess I mean, I almost want to concede to this so they don't see the Fractured Identity. But we could potentially win. Yeah, we can bounce the Bolas of Citadel. Dark Ritual. Okay, we have 2 counterspells, so we can beat a lot of things. Preordain, alright. If they have a Brain Freeze or a Tendrils, we're dead. Burgi, okay. I think we just let this resolve still. We're waiting for the Past in Flames, which I'm expecting that they'll flashback. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Alright, so we'll crack this. Play Mana Drain. I actually would love it if they had Force of Will. And we could use this mana leak here for value. Okay. They played that in response. This just makes a bunch of red mana. So if this resolves, they would have... yeah, I think I'm just going to Mana Leak this Desperate Ritual here. Or... maybe not, actually. Let's see. If this resolves, then they would have 5 mana, so we could not Mana Leak a Mana Leak. I think we actually need to let this resolve, though. Because what else are we going to do? Counter the Desperate Ritual? They could still play their Mana Leak. Miscalculation. Okay, that we can just pay for. So, we'll see. I mean, they could still have Empty the Warrens or something. But as of now, this mana drain is going to work, and then they're not going to be able to do anything this turn. They still have they have 5 mana. We're going to get a bunch of mana on our turn. Don't be Empty the Warrens. It is Empty the Warrens. So they can sacrifice 10 dudes to hit us for 10. Yeah, we're going to die here unless we top deck Walking Ballista. That's really what it comes down to. I guess we could draw cantrips into Walking Ballista too. We can bounce, like, yeah, Wurmcoil is nowhere near enough to, like, Wurmcoil can beat, like, 20 tokens, probably, but not this many. Well, that was a good draw. So we get 4 mana. We'll play Thirst for Knowledge. Walking Ballista. No Ballista. I don't think there's anything we can do here then. Mystical Tutor doesn't help us. Control Magic doesn't do it. Yeah, alright, they got us. Unfortunate. We're playing against a weird Storm deck that is very good against artifacts. Do we want to change anything? I think Expansion Explosion is worth playing. What do we cut here? Maybe Batterskull. Although Batterskull's decent against Empty the Warrens. Maybe Memory Jar. Yeah, we can cut Memory Jar. And we'll run it like this. We haven't seen Brain Freeze yet. If we do, we'll bring in the Ulamog. Alright, good hand. We'll keep it. Man, our last hand was so good, too. If we lost for that hand, that's not a great sign. We can get turn 2 Bolus to Citadel, so I think we just want to do that. So we'll grab Tinker. And then we can play this through a Daze. Not through Spell Pierce, though. If they have a Spell Pierce, that would be tragic. No! Okay, Mystical Tutor, sure. Oh, they can get a Braid. So if they get a Braid, which I'm expecting they will do, they should have let this resolve first. They're getting Preordain. Okay. In that case, I mean, the high upside pick is definitely Bolas' Citadel. Yeah, let's just go for the Bolas' Citadel. All right, Wurmcoil off the top. Yeah, I'll just keep on casting all these things. Discard an artifact. Or actually, let's discard 2 cards. If we just discard both of these lands, we can play Mox and then play Phyrexian Metamorph as a second Wurmcoil. How's that for a turn 2? 2 Wurmcoil Engines, 4 mana, and Bolas' Citadel. They could daze this if they want, but I think it's not going to do enough. They literally just search for preordained too. Okay, they daze this. That's not a problem there. They have no lands. Okay, this is screenshot worthy for sure. And we'll pass back. Just play preordain. I can't imagine what they would top here. What? Top? What could that be? That's terrifying. I mean, we have a mana leak. I think we're fine. We'll hit for 6 and then play Batterskull. All right. What was... okay, an island on top. Yeah, I mean, that was just broken. That shows the power of Mystical Tutor in this deck. That was quite a turn 2. All right, on the draw here, obviously that'll make things a little bit tougher. We didn't really see any of their decks, so I'm not going to bring in the Ulamog. Don't think we want Path. Land tax would be good, but I don't think we can consistently have the mana for it. Yeah, we'll just submit like this. The fact that they have Dack Fayden really does weaken our deck, though. Alright, this is a very strong hand. We'll keep it. Love having access to Mana Drain. Tolarian Academy. Okay, we don't actually have any artifacts now, but that's still a good draw because we have enough islands that it not being an island early is not a problem, and it giving a lot of value late is really good. Okay, I think I'm just going to hold up Mana Drain. Actually, no, we can suspend the Riftwing. If they play Dack, that's fine. We'll just wait for our Riftwing to come in and bounce it and not play any artifacts before then. Nice, they just pass. Okay. No play, including no land. All right, I would love to draw land here. Fractured Identity, okay. We'll just play land go. So I think I will Mana Drain this. I guess the problem is they're very likely to have a counterspell. But I think the upside is very high, and if they counter this, at least they're countering on our turn, and then we can potentially resolve a Jace on ours. Okay, they do have the miscalculation. This Tolarian Academy being a Tolarian Academy was really bad there. Oh, wait, we actually can't play Jace. Yeah, they bounce an island. Mox would be our best draw by a lot here. Just bounce their Volcanic Island. Actually, we should have bounced their basic island. I don't think it matters, but there's no need to do it in that way. Oh, well, now it actually could matter because we have Mana Vault. So I think I'm just gonna go for the. Do we go for the Jace? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so we can play it through a Spell Pierce. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. The upside is so high if this resolves. And they can't have Counterspell, they can't have Mana Drain. If they have Force of Will or Force of Negation, that's fine. Alright, sweet. It resolves. We Brainstorm. Okay, so we can play Mystical Tutor. What do we put back here? Probably 1 land and Fractured Identity since we don't have white mana. And Fractured Identity is also not as good against them as it is against most people. So we'll pass and leave this back to block because we would like to trade dudes and keep our Jace around. And then we don't need to do it, but we can, like, if it looks like it's a good situation for it, we can Mystical Tutor for Tinker and then Tinker for Bolas' Citadel and hopefully win with that. Okay, that's fine. They hit Jace down to 1, but I don't care too much about that. All right, Jace goes to 1. No play. All right, I'm not going to just jam into open mana. We'll just untap. Take 1 here. So they're trying to tap all our lands. I think I'm just going to play... Oh, this is actually sort of funny. We can just untap this. We could also play Fact or Fiction. Or, wait a sec. Oh, no, we can't quite. We do everything. I would love to... If we had 1 more mana, we could Mystical Tutor... We could untap the Mana Vault, Mystical Tutor, and then play Tinker on our turn. But that won't work, so let's just untap this. So we have Basic Island on top. Let's Fate Seal our opponent, because I think drawing Basic Island is fine. Actually, no, we're probably going to play Fact or Fiction, end of their turn. So I will put the island to the bottom. So if they storm off and kill us here, fair enough. Like, we can't beat that, but I think we were able to play around that turnabout very well. Jace goes to 1 here. Thieving Skydiver, not kicked. Strange. Preordain, okay. So I think we're just going to control Magic to steal their Thieving Skydiver here, if, like, presumably. Okay, yeah, let's fire off this Fact or Fiction. Some pretty good hits there. We take lands here if it's just lands and spells. I don't love the Oblivion Stone going to the graveyard, because that's a good answer to their goblins, but I think it's still correct here, because we do need to continue hitting land drops. I'm not going to Mystical Tutor here. We can Mystical Tutor now if we want to. We have a few options. So we could Mystical Tutor and Tinker this Mana Vault away for a Bolas's Citadel. But I think we're going to wait 1 more turn first. So let's go... Do we want to play Urza's Saga? Yeah, let's do that, because I want to get artifacts in play for Tolarian Academy. So Urza's Saga. And then Control Magic, the Thieving Skydiver. We'll plus on them. Smoldering Egg, that seems fine. And we'll pass turn, holding up Mystical Tutor. We could have gotten greedy and brainstormed there, but I think it's a little safer to just do it this way, because if they have a way to kill our Thieving Skydiver, which is not unlikely, then I want our Jace to continue to survive. Phantasmal Image. That's annoying. They can copy their Riftwind Cloudscape and bounce their Thieving Skydiver back to their hand. Then do they just replay Thieving Skydiver? Okay, they are kicking it, so they're going to steal our Mana Vault. Do we want to... Well, actually, we don't need Mystical Tutor in response. The best draw here would be Walking Ballista. Unfortunately, we can't Mystical Tutor for that. I think we just let this happen. We're not going to get Tinker here. We're just going to take a draw step. Bolas' Citadel. Okay, well, we need to shuffle that away, so we will certainly be brainstorming here. They'll probably be able to kill our Jace, but Jace has put in some good work. Let's put back Bolas' Citadel and land. Then we go land, Signet, Fractured Identity, their Riftwing, and kill their other thing. Actually, I think that's worth it. Do we have... Wait. Can we afford to use Urza Saga? We pay 2 to use Urza Saga. Then we have 1 island, the Signet, and the Tolarian Academy untapped. So we tap the island and the Signet, and then the Academy taps for 2, and we're 1 mana short. Dang. Alright, so we're not going to get to make a construct this turn. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. So we'll go make some mana. 5. Is that even worth it? Maybe that's just not that good. Yeah, actually, keeping the Jace around is pretty... Yeah, let's do this. So, Fractured Identity, exile this. We get a copy. They can't daze this. Bounce this, which kills it. And now they need to have a removal spell for this Riftwing to kill our thing. And we know that one of their cards is Smoldering Egg. We still have Mystical Tutor available if we want it. We have landed Bolas' Citadel on top, which we don't want. So I think I probably will fire off this Mystical Tutor end of turn. If they can't kill our Jace here, and we get to untap again with Jace, that would be huge. Attack, attack, attack. I want the board to just be clear. Nice. They play their Smoldering Egg, sure. Dack Faden, okay. They can steal our Signet, which doesn't matter that much. It's a little annoying. Alright, so... Do we want a Mystical Tutor in response? Do we have enough mana to do everything we want to do? We'll have no artifacts in play. We can go pay 2 to use Urza Saga. Then we'll have 3 untapped islands in a Tolarian Academy. Oh, yeah, wait, yeah, we have plenty. So let's play Mystical Tutor in response. Grab Tinker. Okay. So they steal that. Now we're just drawing the land. In response to this trigger, we're definitely going to want to make a construct. Then we'll shuffle, which is good because we get rid of the Bolas' Citadel. We can take top or Mox Emerald. Either way, this Tolarian Academy is going to be tapping for 2. If we get Mox Emerald, we can play Batterskull and hold up Mana Leak. That seems pretty good, so let's do that. So we'll brainstorm. Phyrexian Metamorph doesn't do... Oh, we can copy Batterskull. Having 2 Batterskull seems pretty good. So we'll put back 2 islands. Then play Academy Ruins. Play Batterskull. I don't think they'll be able to flip this egg. Oh, it's the amount of mana spent to cast. That's hilarious. It doesn't even work with days. They only have 1 card in hand. Oh, they just concede. Ha! Hilarious. All right. I mean, yeah, we were going to win that game for sure. They didn't have much going on. Well, that's pretty sweet. I thought that would be a tough matchup because they had at least 2 ways to steal our artifacts and a way to kill them, all very efficiently, but we somehow managed to overcome that. If we can beat that matchup, that's a good sign for other matchups. I would like to find Or I think I would like to avoid really aggressive decks, although maybe not even. With both Wurmcoil and Batterskull, we have lots of ways to gain life, and Oblivion Stone to sweep their board. Playing against Epic Win 42. This is a good hand. We can play Mind Control on turn 3, or Control Magic on turn 3, which is very good against a lot of decks, including Mono Green. Okay, playing against another blue deck. They have a Mox. Dang. Okay. Our turn is a lot less sexy. I don't think we want a Mystical Tutor for a Tinker here. This is a pretty key turn. I hope they can't do anything too bad here. Okay, Portend is fine. I think I like holding up Mana Leak rather than playing the Orzhov Signet next turn, although it is sort of close. Maybe we should just play the Signet. I mean, it's scary to just pass back when they have 5 mana and we have nothing available. We have Control Magic, which will deal with creatures, but we don't have a great... Excuse me. We don't have a great way to deal with non-creatures. I think we gotta be proactive. So I'll play the Signet here. There's things that really punish us, and we just need to hope they don't have that. But I don't think we really win the game by just like passing when they're that far ahead on mana. Especially drawing Fact or Fiction. Oh, well, they have Tinker. So we need to really hope... Well, if they have a counter... Yeah, Control Magic is good against some things they could get here. Blightsteel Colossus. Okay, so we win if they don't have Counterspell. Probably. Yes! They suspended Ancestral. That's huge. All right, so we go... Urza Saga. And then Control Magic, your Blightsteel. They could have Dack Fayden to steal it back again. If they do have Dack Fayden, I think we just die. We could Mystical Tutor for Tinker, but that doesn't do it. Okay, they play Expressive Iteration. They don't have it yet. They concede. All right. Woo. Control Magic. Sometimes that's all you need. It's really good. Well, actually, we could have Tinkered, Mana Leaked the Tinker, but this worked out way better to be able to steal that. So they have the possibility of putting Blightsteel into play pretty early. That is scary. I think I want to bring in Path for that. We can bring in Path and then add 2 more planes. Actually, we can even cut this and bring in... we'll say play that and then 2 planes. What do we not want? Probably don't need Batterskull. We could run it like this. I kind of would like to play 1 more land, though, although we are on the draw. Maybe we cut Memory Jar. That seems only okay. And how many blue sources do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that's fine, so I'm going to add 1 more planes. We really do want to have planes as early as possible here. We could even play Solitude, but I think that's a little too deep. We'll just run it like this. All right, great hand. We could hold up Mana Leak, but I think I like just going for the turn 2 Jace. They have Mox Ruby again, but this time we have a Mox as well. Well, we could just go for Tinker. Actually, well... Okay, this is what we do. We just play Basic Island, then play Mox and Signet. And then we can, if we want to, we can upkeep Mystical Tutor for Tinker and then play Tolarian Academy and play Tinker. If they leave mana up, though, we'll just take our draw step. Okay. So we can play Tolarian Academy and then have 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. That's not quite enough for Jace with something up. I think I'm going to make them have a counterspell, though, and just play the Jace here. And bait the counterspell out of them and then go for Tinker next turn. And next turn we can play Tinker with Mana Leak backup. And I think at this spot we want to sack the Mox Emerald rather than the Selesnya Signet. They play an Urza. Okay. That is not strong compared to Tinker for Bolas's Citadel. We could even Fractured Identity it, but I think Tinker is just better. Tinker sacking this so we get to keep our white mana. And we'll take Bolas's Citadel. Play Plains. Well, alright. Not the sexiest Bolas's Citadel turn, but we still get to pass holding up Mana Leak. And then hopefully do more action with the Bolas's Citadel next turn. Okay, we cannot Mana Leak that, and I don't think we would want to even if we could. It is a bummer that we got nothing off of that Bolas's Citadel this turn. Hopefully we get a better turn now. Because the thing is, they actually are sort of pressuring our life total. Part of me wants to actually Mana Leak this, because Mana Leak is getting worse and worse. Yeah, I'm going to do this. It saves us 2 life. It saves us 1 life this turn, which is relevant when we have Bolas's Citadel in play, and it just keeps them off of mana later in the game. Winter Orb. Okay, that's actively good for us. Oh, wait, no, they can... All right, Urza Winter Orb is sort of a combo, but we do get to untap our Tolarian Academy every turn, which is key. That sucks. I guess we just cast that, though. That just goes straight to the graveyard. Ooh! Okay, since it's Divining Top, Bolas's Citadel is a combo, you can pay 1 life to draw a card, and just do that forever, and you can also set the top of your library. I think I will pay 5 life for this to kill the construct. Now we'll tap this to draw a card, which draws this island, then puts the top back on top, and we can play the top again. We'll do that again, because I want to clear these lands off the top. Jeez, why are we continuing to just draw only lands? Nice, Lotus Bloom is a nice hit. Do we want to path this Urza? Yeah, I think we do. Then we can metamorph. We can make 2 Wurmcoils. So let's go 3, 4, 5, 6. Cast Wurmcoil. Cast this to copy Wurmcoil. And then pass holding up Mana Drain. Perfect. All right, your turn. Frantic Search, that is fine. We're at 4, so our life total is a bit low. We're going to gain 12 if we get to untap and attack with these Wurmcoils. Okay, they just concede. And that is the match. We are cruising to the finals. This deck is sweet. I forgot about how you always get trophies when you play shirtless. I should do this more often. Man, this has been such a fun league. The games have been very, very different. We won 1 game by just, like, control magic on its own. We won 1 game by, like, playing Jason, really grinding to protect it. We've won by gaining life off of Wurmcoil to offset the Bolas's Citadel life loss. Citadel has led to some awesome turns. No surprise there. Yeah, I mean, we've just been able to... And then Urza Saga. I guess Urza Saga's only been okay. But, yeah, this is a sweet deck. I am really excited for the finals, and I'm excited to get that trophy. We have our opponent. Nice. We win the die roll against 009, 009, 009. We are on the play with an okay hand. It's not amazing. A Tolarian Academy would really power up this hand a lot, but we have good mix of lands and spells, including a top, and we can use Walking Ballista to deal with early creatures if they play like a turn 1 Jiraga Tree Speaker or something. Mountain Go, okay. Thirst for Knowledge was a great draw. I'm just going to play Island and pass back. I don't think I want to play the Walking Ballista for 1 here. Okay, sure. So the best thing to find would be some like a Mox. Oh, well, there's just a Tinker. We can just put Wurmcoil Engine into play the next turn. That seems like it's got to be good. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we can copy it the turn after. So, Mana Leak, Island Tinker. Draw the Tinker, play it. And this is a situation where Bolas of Citadel is not the right pickup. It's nice that we have this against control and this against aggro. That really shores up our bases. The most likely bad case, or like they could play Sulfuric Vortex or Rampaging Ferocidon here, which would shut down our life gain. Okay, they do have the Ferocidon. I think we're still winning this battle though. We can swing for 6 and then play another Wurmcoil Engine. Yeah, let's do that. This puts us down to 15, but we have 12 power on board. This is just, like, impossible for Mono Red to beat, honestly. I mean, maybe they could have... No, I can't even think of what they could have. They can hit us for 3 here with the Rampaging Ferocidon because it does have Menace. So that puts us to 12. But then they're basically just dead on the backswing. If we draw land, they have to chump block with their 2-2. We'll take 3 here. Mox Emerald was a pretty good draw. So let's attack with both. If they just take it, they're dead. They'll probably chump block one of them. Okay, yep. And now, do we want to play the Walking Ballista? It would make us lose 1 life. That would be upside if they play a Hell Rider. Okay, well, yeah, what are the ways they win? They're hitting us down to 9, so they could just have a bunch of points of burn spells, in which case playing the Walking Ballista is bad. If they have any creature with haste that we can block with the Ballista, it's better to play it. There's no benefit to hold the Thirst for Knowledge. I don't think there's anything we could hit that would change the calculation here. What's the likelihood that they have exactly 8 points of burn? It's not that unlikely, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play Mox Emerald and pass here. I think it's more likely that they have exactly 8 points of burn than that the Walking Ballista helps. They need to play Burn Spell end of turn or else they just lose. They do have the Char, though. That's worst case scenario, so if they have 5 points of burn, they can kill us. Oh, if they had Hell Rider, that would be exactly lethal, and we could have survived if we played the Ballista. Brutal! That is absolutely brutal. We would have won. Yeah, I mean, I have nobody to blame but myself for that. They hit us for exactly lethal. Yeah. Wow. I can't believe we lost that. Turn 3 Wurmcoil, and we lost. That's not a good sign, because we can't really draw much better than that. We just run it back here, I think. Maybe we want Path, actually. Yeah, let's bring in Path. Cut these 2 for 2 basic planes. We can cut this. I honestly think we cut the Bolas of Citadel. And bring in, like, Mana Tithe. Or, no, let's just play 1 more land. Alright. That was an unfortunate loss. We could have won if we had played the Wurmcoil, or the Walking Ballista there. We are on the play. I think this hand is a keep. It's a little awkward not to have a basic island. I don't want to have to play the Urza Saga on turn 1 here because we can't use the ability on turn 2. Mox Emerald would be a massive draw. Goblin Guide, okay. So we'll play Urza Saga and pass, or Starlight Academy and pass. And then our plan, we're probably just going to Mystical Tutor for Tinker here and just do that again. And we have the path this time, so that should be enough. So we can set the top 3 so that we're good to land here, almost definitely. Oh, well, we don't even need to play the Mystical Tutor. Perfect. So we'll go Tezzeret, Tinker, Island. Then they give us the Island. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, we're taking our draw step before the Urza Saga goes off. So we will get the Tinker. Grim Monolith. Not a card I was expecting to see from them. And also not a card I am afraid of in the slightest. So we take our draw step. And we'll float mana. Then search up Mox Emerald. And we go Island, 3 mana, Tinker sacking the Sensei's Divining Top, and then we pass holding up Mana Drain. Yeah, that seems really hard for the opponent to beat. Urza Saga actually was better than a normal land there because it just basically traded itself for a Mox Emerald, and Mox Emerald taps for 2 with the Tolarian Academy. So even though we got no constructs out of this, this was a good deal. Better than it just being a basic land. This looks like something we're going to Mana Drain, and I bet they will concede when we do it. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Yeah, I think that is worth Mana Draining. Oof. I don't even care about the Chandra that much, other than the fact that it generates mana. And I want to constrain their mana, so we can Mana Drain this, and then, I mean, we'll probably just win from there. Do they concede to this Mana Drain? That is pretty broken. Turn 3, Wormcoil Engine plus Mana Drain, your 4-drop. Alright, sweet. So, 1 win away from the trophy, but we are on the draw in one of our tougher matchups. Do we want to make any more changes, like bringing in Soulfire Grandmaster? I think Soulfire is probably worth bringing in here. And we can cut maybe Tezzeret. That seems a little slow. And if we could come in and immediately minus to get Batterskull, that would be good. But it can't, so that makes it a lot slower. Do we want to bring in like Mana Tithe or Tithe Taker or anything like that? Tithe Taker could be good. But what are we cutting? I don't want to make the deck is pretty streamlined, and I don't want it to become unstreamlined. I think we just run it back. I guess we could cut 1 land for the Tithe Taker on the draw. We could also bring in land tax, but I don't think I'm going to do that. No, let's just run it back. We haven't even seen that many things that Tithe Taker is good against. It's pretty good against Goblin Guide, but you really want to be... Like, Tithe Taker is at its best against stuff like Ragavan. You know, places where the 1 toughness... Like, yeah, a 1/1 is a really good threat. This hand is turn 4 good stuff. I guess I'll keep it. Not having blue mana is awkward, but if we draw even 1 island, then this hand becomes pretty good. And we have both Batterskull and Wormcoil in our hand, which are really strong threats against them. Island. Another Plains. Okay. Not much reason to play the Mox Emerald on turn 1, so we'll just pass. Karakas. That doesn't do much against us. We take 1 again. Grim Monolith again, alright. There's our island, so we'll go Island, Mox Emerald, Oblivion Stone, pass turn. It's very weird for them to be playing Grim Monolith. That generally isn't good in aggressive red decks. They might be less aggressive than I think, but if they're playing Char and Hellrider, they're probably pretty aggressive. The Karakas is very awkward here. As far as we can tell, they're mono red, so they're very constrained on red mana at the moment. Okay, that's a little annoying. But actually not that bad for something that they spent that much mana on. So we'll go land, Sensei's Divining Top. I will look at the top 3 just in case we hit like a Mana Vault that we want to play. Mana Leak on top, okay. So we can go Plains, Leak, Island, because we want to play Island next turn. So they sacrifice their Avalanche Riders. They only have 2 mana. And then next turn, we could, let's see, we'll have how much mana? 3, 6, 7 mana. So we could play Batterskull and hold up Mana Leak, or play Wurmcoil Engine. But I think Batterskull is enough. I think that's worth it here. It means we're not going to be able to play Wurmcoil Engine this game, probably, but I think just Batterskull should be enough to win. Okay, they just cracked their Bomat Courier. That's definitely a sign of desperation. Their hand was pretty awkward. They have 3 cards in hand. All right, we'll look at the top 3. Oh, wait, no, we know all the top 3. And we want them to be in the order that they are in. So now the Lotus Bloom comes off. We draw Island, play Island, and crack for blue and play the Batterskull. And 4-4 with Vigilance and Lifelink is probably just game against them. They might have like 1 or 2 answers, but Rampaging Ferocidon's already in the graveyard. They could have a Braid, but we can leak it. Keep in mind, we can draw a card with the Sensei's Divining Top, and we know the top card of our deck is Mana Leak, so we don't have a counter in hand, but we do have access to a counter. There we go. Got the trophy. This was actually a perfect build for Tinker. I think I underrated at the beginning just how good it was to have both Batterskull and Wurmcoil Engine, because they're good complements to Bolas's Citadel in the grindy matchups, and they're really, really good on their own against the aggressive decks. We don't have access to removal. That's the weakness of this sort of deck. But that didn't actually matter because we could just play Thresh It and validate their deck. Like, you don't need to be killing their Goblin Guide when you play a Wurmcoil Engine. So that worked out really well, and we surge up to 5th on the leaderboard, very close to 2nd. Let's take a look at this sweet deck list. So this was Mono Blue Artifacts, or basically Mono Blue Artifacts, and it was very strong. We had a lot of cheap artifacts. Lotus Bloom was great. Tolarian Academy was great. We never used Academy Ruins. The main reason this is in the format is for its combo with Mindslaver, which we didn't have. So it's possible we shouldn't have played it. I was sort of thinking there would be a world where we want to like play Oblivion Stone 2 turns in a row or Walking Ballista or something, but it never really came up. But a lot of other cards were great here. Bolas's Citadel was amazing. Wurmcoil was amazing. Batterskull was amazing. Jace was amazing. Control Magic. Factor Fiction was good. We never popped Oblivion Stone, but opponents did respect it and use stuff against it. We also never used Tezzeret, really. Mana Drain was sweet. I mean, yeah, this was just a really good and fun deck all around. I'm really happy we got to pull off the Sensei's Divining Top Bolas's Citadel combo in one game, because that is a pretty sweet one. Yeah, great deck all around. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.